Hello, this is Irv. In this video, I will show you how to register a new patient. On your video screen, you'll see the startup screen for DocPro for Windows. Please be sure your screen is in full screen mode by clicking the full screen icon at the bottom right of the video player. Also, for full screen viewing, you should set the quality to 720 HD by clicking on the little gear at the bottom right. It may take many seconds before the quality improves after you change it. Please watch the overview tutorial before this one. Now either click on button 1 or press the 1 on your keyboard. I'll click on button 1. Now come down and find the Add Patient button and either click on that or press the A key, which is click. Go ahead and you'll probably be registering your patient and from a form that you've had the patient fill out, a patient registration form, which is what most offices, of course, do. So we'll just make this up as we go along. Let's put in a patient, put in a first name, and the middle initial. Now you'll notice that it has set the account to KER, which is the first 3 letters of the last name, and then it just increments up with this number. Your system can be set to put zeros in the front or some other number or the patient's letters, any one of those. You can also have manual entry. It can be set to do that, in which case it would not be automatic. Now if you're happy with that, you keep it, and now it just goes up to the patient screen. I'm just going to hit the Enter key to move forward. I could use the Tab key if I'm more used to that, but I like to use the Enter key, which does work on DocPro. Under date of birth, if I press Enter and I don't put anything in there, it's going to come up and tell me it's required. So I have to put something. So we'll put in January 15th, let's put 49. How's that? And except I put it in wrong. 1949. How's that? Sex can be male, of course, but always on these fields there's always a little pull down, so you can always find out what the possible choices are. Our system, these are the types. Let's just say he's going to be a Medicare. We'll double click that and bring it in. The case description can be just something about the patient. We could just say I fall on ice, just for the fun of it. And it's limited to maybe 10 characters. The Social Security is optional. We won't worry about it. If you have multiple providers, you can put in the provider that he normally sees. If the patient's over 18 years old, it's going to plug the patient in for guardian and plug in self. Marital status really isn't needed, but if you put it in there, it will show on the HCFA form, so it's up to you. Put in a street address and address line 2 if you need it. We'll put them into Boston. Put a state and just whatever zip you want to put in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His phone. Now if you have his phone, you could just put in 617 123 4567, and it's going to format it. On this phone over here, you could put a cell in if you wanted. His email, John at Washington. Whatever. Now he's referred by, well, of course we'll say Hillary referred him. And his registration date will be today. Last visit. The last visit will fill in when he comes in. Visit counter will fill in when he comes in. Employment, school, those are on the HCFA form. If you want them filled out, you put them in. If you don't, you don't put them in. Special codes can be used later. Your dealer will tell you if you need to put something in there special, but for now we won't be using it. And all we have to do is K for keep. It'll say, do you want to count it as a new patient? We'll say yes, so it'll go into the statistics. Do you want to add an insurance plan? Yes, let's add insurance. So we'll press, now we'll come into our insurance screen, and all we have to do is press the A key to go into add mode. We want to see if there's a Medicare plan in there. Since there's not, I'm just going to plug in a Medicaid plan and say it's primary, and he owns it himself, and you need a subscriber ID, and there's no group. The coverage begins, it ends, and any special notes. It will track how much is paid year to date. It'll also, you can put in how many visits are allowed, and then it will track them. You can even, you could put in his deductible and just say it's, let's just say $100. His copay, let's say, is $15. And now we'll keep that. Now we edited that. Do you want to put in a chart screen? We'll say yes. So we'll add the chart. That's the insurance screen from the old DocPro. It will count visits. This chart will start today. Signatures on file, these normally are yes, yes, both, and yes. Type of accident, if there is one, then we'll have to fill that out. If there's a referring physician, we can put that in. We'll say John Kildare referred him. Again, special codes have to do with how insurance is billed, so we normally don't fill that in unless your dealer tells you so. Prior authorization, you fill that in if you want it on the form. First symptom or onset is box 14 on the form, and if you need it, such as initial treatment or something like that, or doctor last seen, that should always be right there. So say his initial treatment was 01/15 and 2005. These other ones, like initial treatment here, it's good to fill in, but it won't print on the form. You really need to put it under the first symptom, because that's where box 14 gets filled in. Your hospital dates and so on, if needed, fill those in. Okay, so now we basically have entered the patient. From here you could go over to the ledger by pressing 2, and then you could put a charge in. We'll put a quick brief exam in. Now at this point, notice there's no diagnosis in there, and it's complaining. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my mouse, I'm going to hit enter, come down here, and we just have a couple things. We'll plug in a diagnosis, and now when I hit enter, his diagnosis will go in. So now he has a diagnosis. So now you have a new patient registered, and he has a new charge, and that's how to register a patient. That's it for this video. Thank you, and have a great day.